Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in today. I just wanted to do this quick intro and outro for this next decluttering video. If you missed the last one, it was when I did my complexion, and I am doing my eye stuff this time. In case you missed it, the reasoning why I have to do these videos is because I work at Sephora. I get a lot of things for free from work, and I know there's a lot of things coming soon. So the things that I know I'm already ignoring, I know will get lost in the shuffle. I need to weed those things out, and I'd rather give them to friends and family while they're still in really great condition than them sitting around for months and months without any use for me. So I just want to weed out things I don't use. They may be things that are really great. I may have already recommended them to you, but just keep in mind that I get stuff all the time and I just need to manage it as best I can. I don't like having a crazy huge makeup collection. I like the things that I like, and things that I just don't have a need for anymore, I'm going to pass them along to someone who will enjoy them. So that's why we're here today. We are going into my eye stuff, and we're just going to get into this. Let's just go in. Okay, here are my eyeshadow palettes. We'll start with this first because I feel like whenever I open my drawer for my eyeshadow palettes, I can easily spot a couple things that I'm just like, ugh, I need to get rid of these or pass them along because I just don't use them. Now, even though I love to do a variety of different looks, my thoughts have changed when it comes to palettes in general. I don't want to just hold on to a palette for the one or two shades that I like or know I'm going to use in the future. I have changed from going from a eyeshadow palette collection to singles, and you'll see my singles in here. I'm not going to go through them today, and I have some more coming that I just purchased. So I much prefer getting a single of like one or two colors that I know I'll love versus a whole palette of things that I might use a couple of the shades of, but in general the whole palette doesn't work for me. So hopefully I can weed through a couple of the palettes, and in the future I know I need to be better about buying palettes that I know I'll use all the shades of versus just getting it because it's on sale. Let's start with the one on top, which is this one here. This is my Tryst palette from Viseart. I love using this one. It's very like pink tones. I love this color in the middle. It's just like a beautiful peachy pink shimmer. And then this one here is a beautiful one for an inner corner highlight. You can see how dusty it is. It's well loved. I love using it. I love the purples in here too. This color, which is like a nice taupe, is beautiful on its own, just like all over the lid, just like buffed out. I love that one. So this is one that I love and use all the time. So this one's definitely staying. Another one that I love and use all the time, and I don't need to really think about either of these ones because they're both staying, but this one is the newest one to me, and this is the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. It is stunning and beautiful. I've been using it constantly. Just so many good warm tones, perfect for fall, but in general just a great like everyday palette if you like that warm bronzy type of look. And I've been using it a ton. I even love how they have like that one pop of pink in there. These colors here, even though I would prefer it having like a dark brown, they still work to help deepen up the crease. So I have been really enjoying this one, and I love again how you can pop these out for like a single aspect. So if you only wanted one or two shades with you when traveling, or maybe you want to make like your own mini palette with a Z palette, you can do so without actually buying singles from them, which is nice. And then the other one that I use all the time is this one from Lawless. This is the One palette, and it's another great one for fall. I love this row of pinks that I use all throughout the year. This row of oranges is beautiful, and then there's just some really great neutrals up there too. So I use this one all the time. This one I have quite a bit of dip in. I did drop it at one point, so you can see like there's a little bit of like a divot in a couple of shades, but I love using this one. It's a great option too. Moving on to a couple that I may not keep. We have this one first from Melt, and I want to love Melt. They definitely intrigue me because they have really cool color stories. I got this one honestly because it was on sale, like a crazy deal, and plus since I work at Sephora, I get a really good discount on top of it. So I only spent maybe like $15 on this palette. It wasn't a lot, and so that's kind of why I bought it, which is just poor shopping. I know that. I know better to not buy something just because it's on sale, but this is a palette that I was really interested in because I love oranges. And even though I like these colors over here, I love using these two quite often, the rest of the palette I really don't touch. I really don't care for these browns. I don't know about them. They're just a little bit too deep or just a little bit too like muddy color than what I typically use. I like to use more of like a bronzy warm tone. These are just like a weird shade of brown that I don't use. I do like this one green over here. These ones right here didn't really perform as well as I wanted them to. And then these two up here is just okay. So I don't want to keep a whole palette just for 2 orange colors. I'd much prefer just buying a couple singles, which I did actually purchase a couple singles from ColourPop, which are pretty much these shades. So I don't need to keep this palette just for those 2 colors that I like. I just know better to do something like that, but it was a good deal, and I know someone would probably love this. It's just the color story is weird, and I know it's not my everyday, but oh well, it is what it is. Next we have, let's go down here, we have the Best Life 2. This again is another bad decision on my part because it was one that, again, I got on sale. It was half off, and then I get my discount on top of it, and it is really cool, and I've used it in the past at work before when we could actually use our testers, and I used this one a lot and I kind of liked it. But when I use the whole palette together, the mattes in here don't last very long. They fade pretty quickly throughout the day. I made a really beautiful look with these 2 colors here, and this shade here pretty much faded within an hour, and then I just had this shade over my lid and it kind of just looked weird on its own. These glitters also, I don't know if you can see, but there's little like splotches where they kind of like melded together. I don't know how that happened, and they work fine, but they're just too glittery and they fall out. I'm just nervous because I've had a really bad eye infection before because of glitter. So this part here I only use very, very rarely when I really feel bold and confident. And then other than that, there's only a couple shades here that are really unique, which is pretty much this bright pink and then maybe this one here. But I know with the purchase of my bronze palette, this one is covered. I know I had this one here in a single, and then this one I could easily find in a single, and the rest I already have. So I just don't think I need this. I didn't really like the quality of it. I don't use pretty much half of the palette because I don't use these glitters all that often. So I mean, I did get a good deal out of it. I used it quite a handful of times since I got it. I know I'm not going to use it very much. So I'm going to pass this along to maybe a coworker that would get more use out of it. And then another one that I am passing along is this one, which is the little one from Lawless. I don't need to keep both, even though this is perfect for travel. Again, I'm not traveling a ton right now. It's just a really nice warm toned, although when I'm looking at it, I'm like, ooh, maybe. But I know myself currently, and I'd much rather bring a little Z palette of a couple shades that I know I'll use all of them of versus this one here, which I do use all the colors, but I don't normally use these 2 here. And so I'm really only using 6 of the 8 shades most days, and it's great again for travel. But I think just the fact that I have the full one, which has all those shades in there already, I don't need to have the pocket size. So I'm gonna pass this one along. And then finally I have the Laura Mercier palette. This is like the Gem palette 2 or something like that. I got it at Costco, to tell you the truth, and I have been loving it. I think all the colors are just a really nice burnt version of themselves, which is great for fall. They're just really beautiful glitters. There's only this one matte shade. Well, there's 2 matte shades. There's the black and then the cream. The cream is beautiful just to help blend everything together. I've even used this one here, which is like a darker purple, and when you blend it out, the glitter really doesn't show, and I feel like that's how it is for a couple of them. If you use a brush, the glitter doesn't show, you just have like really beautiful color. So I've been using this one a ton, and I can see this one being a really big favorite for fall. So I'm going to keep this one here. And then finally, I'll just show you what my singles look like currently. And that is this here. Again, I did purchase a whole bunch of them currently from ColourPop. They're on their way. And I'm really excited because they'll have a lot more colorful mattes in there. Where right now, all my colors, like all my bright colors, are in these shimmery, glowy colors. And then I have all my mattes as just like my basics. So it will be nice to have some brighter colors as a matte form. Most of these are JD Glow here. There's like one Juvia's Place palette that a few of these are. This one here is Anastasia. This one is at Aaron's Faces. And then all these ones are NARS that I got at, again, Costco for pretty cheap. So I've been slowly growing my collection, and this is the way I want my collection to go in the future. Just to have like a few colors that I know I love. Like I use every single one of these shades. These ones here are still newer to me, so then maybe there's a couple in like the mattes that I haven't used a lot. But as far as these brighter shades go and all these glowy ones, I use them all the time. I always have one of these on my lids. Like today I have this one on my lid. So it's just really beautiful and I love using them. So they are definitely staying, and have totally made a difference in my makeup collection. So I am only keeping 4 eyeshadow palettes plus my singles, and then I am getting rid of 3. So that is pretty good considering I didn't have a ton. So the next group here are just some miscellaneous shadowy things. Is that the term for them? But they're like shadows for all over the lid versus an eyeliner. And then these are just like trios, and we have a couple cream products. Let's just go through this. These 2 here from Kaja, I use all the time. They are some of probably the best eyeshadows I've ever used ever. Like, they are so good. Their glitters and their metallics are beautiful. They are bright and vibrant and stay really well. They don't have any fallout, and then their mattes are really creamy and easy to blend. So I have 2 of them. I can easily see myself buying more of these, and I love how they're just a trio. I use them constantly, especially this one, which is Chocolate Dahlia, and it just has like a nice, beautiful, creamy, glittery shimmer color. And then you have this one, which is a nice matte coffee, and then we have this one, which is a darker brown. I use this one all the time, and it works really well with this trio, which is in Orange Blossom, because you have this nice peachy pink glitter, which you guys know I love. I have this really bright corally orange, and then this one here, which is like a cooler brown, but like more like a taupey brown. I use these constantly, so these are definitely staying. As well as this guy here, it's lasted through so many declutters, but I still use it all the time. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in the shade Marie Antoinette. This is one of those tried and trues that when I run out of it, I will purchase a new one. I love it so much. And then we have this one from Supergoop. This is actually a eyeshadow, but it also has sunscreen in it. So I use this one all the time as my base. And although I say all the time, I feel like it doesn't even make a dip, but it's a beautiful color. It's just like a glowy golden pink. It's really pretty on. It's in the shade Daydream, and they have only a couple of shades. They're all pretty neutral, but it's nice to be able to have like a sunscreen for your eyes, which is why I had purchased it. So I'm keeping all 4 of those. That didn't do very well, but I know I love and use these all the time. But I do know I need to get rid of this guy. This I got by Gratis. This is from Coast. It's like their 10-second shadow, and it is really like a 10-second shadow. You put it on, you only have a few seconds to make it work, because then it dries down for all day. It's really pretty. It's just something I don't use, so I'm going to pass this along while it's still brand new. I know I'll use like this, which is similar in color, versus having something like this. This one I can just like work a little bit better, and it looks a little bit more like seamless, where this one looks kind of too metallic-y, so this is gonna go. Next, I have these 2 Julep products. They're their eyeshadows, and we have this one here, which is like a nice taupe, which is almost the exact same shade of my Charlotte Tilbury. And then I have this one, which is more, and then we have this one, which is more of a kind of like a rusty red. But when you put it on, again, it's more like a maroon-y brown. So I don't really care for either of these. They are a bit drier, and I feel like you can kind of blend them, but then they kind of like blend away. So like if you blend them here, I'm just doing it with my finger, you can see like the colors pretty much have faded away. So I'm going to get rid of these 2 here. So I'm keeping the 4 products that I love and getting rid of these 3. Moving on to mascara, we're going into these guys. These 2 here I got in my subscription box. I think it was a Cause box. And there's a eyelash serum, and then there's a mascara. I just know I'm not going to use these because I'd rather try out things that I get through work that I can speak to versus trying something completely different and then finding out that I love it and then I can't really speak to it at work. So I'm going to get rid of these while they're still brand new. I'll hand them off to someone else. But as far as the rest, I will be keeping the 2 Anastasia. I will get rid of the It Cosmetics. Nothing wrong with it. I loved it. I used it a ton. But it's definitely old, and I need to just part ways with it. So it's not going to go to anybody. It's just going to get put into my empties. And then this has been my newest love for mascara. It's the Anastasia. It is beautiful. It just has really nice feathery lashes. They don't clump at all. You can add layers throughout the day, and it doesn't get spidery or weird. I have been loving this so much. I have the mini, and I have the full size. Currently, I've just been using the mini. It's been working great. And then I have a Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'll keep it as a backup. It's not my favorite, but if I run out of mascara, I'll have this one. And if I get something else that I prefer to try in Gratis, then I may pass this along. But it's kind of just there as a backup purpose, so I'll keep it. Moving on to primers. I'll keep my Anastasia eye primer because it's definitely been like the only one that I've ever fallen in love with. So I am keeping this, but I'll get rid of this eyeshadow potion from Urban Decay. I've used it in the past. It's fine, but I feel like it doesn't do anything magical, where the Anastasia one, I swear, is like the best one I've ever tried. So I'm going to get rid of this one. It's still brand new. Haven't opened it, so I'd much rather give it away while I can. Moving on to brows. I only have 2 here. And I know in my gratis bin at work, I think I have like 3 or 4 because so many brands are coming out with brow products right now. So I love the Urban Decay Brow Blade. And it's a pen on one side and a pencil on the other. So if you haven't seen it, it's like a pen on one side, a pencil on the other. I use it all the time. It's been my go-to for over a year now. So I love it so much. Definitely keeping. And then this Winky Lux one is a bit too soft for my liking. I got it in a subscription box. I think it was my FabFitFun, and it's their universal brow pencil, and it isn't just one shade. It does work for me, but it's just too soft for my liking, so I'm gonna pass this one along. And then finally we have eyeliners, and eyeliner is definitely something that has grown quite a bit recently. I realized how much I missed having eyeliner in my collection. It's just a great way to finish up any eye look, and this trend definitely started with my new Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil. I have the shade 0. It's something that's been in my my project pan, and I've fallen in love with it. So I wanted to get other shades because sometimes I just don't want a black. I want other colors. I love having colorful eyeliner. So first I had gotten these Sephora collection ones, and I just wish they were brighter. They're all kind of turned into like a dark version of themselves on. Like I wanted this to be an actual bright blue, but it really isn't. It's very like dark, 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 and it almost looks black. Same with this green and same with the purple. I will keep the purple because I feel like it does pull a lot more purple than the other two pull their own colors. I will keep the purple, but I will get rid of these two, the green and the blue, just because the color is nothing what I wanted them to be. And then I do have this one, which is in a brown, and I do like the color, so I will keep it. And this is in the shade number 12 Cappuccino. And then I have these ones that I just purchased, and I'm so excited about them. I had these a while back, like when they first launched, and I used up the Marc Jacobs Odyssey completely. Like I used it up completely. I loved it so much. And then I remember having like a mini of this one. I used that one up so much too. I love the consistency of them. They're bright and they're colorful, and they go on true to color. Like this is going to be like a bright, bright teal, and this one here is a beautiful like peachy orange. And so this will be something that I love. Like I love how beautiful these colors are, and I think that's how I'm gonna be when I purchase eyeliners in the future. I'd much rather get a formula and a color that I know will love, that I will love and use and work well, versus getting like a cheaper version of themselves and then be disappointed. So I will be keeping both of those, but I will be getting rid of this Huda Beauty thing. So it's a dual-ended situation. We have a liquid version on here. We have the pencil version. The pencil version has never worked for me. I've gotten this in gratis a few times, and every single time the pencil side is always dried up, and like I try to swipe it on my lid and it like breaks. So the pencil side has never worked, and then I'm not a huge fan of the liquid side either. So for me, this has just been a hard pass. I'm not going to even pass it along because I don't think it's very good. So of my eyeliners, I am keeping 5, and then I am getting rid of 3. Here's everything that I'm keeping. It's exactly 20 pieces. This feels so nice and refreshed because I'm keeping things that I know I love and use, and I'm excited to have just a few of the colors that I know work for me, especially here, and love having the palettes that I know I love and use, and love the formulas of every single look that I come up with. It will work well and like how I want them to. And again, in the future, I just need to be better about when I purchase an eyeshadow palette. Am I using every single color, or should I pass on it and just get a single of the 1 or 2 shades that intrigue me? So that's my plan in the future. Hopefully I stick with it, but I'm pretty happy with my little set of makeup right now. This is everything that I'm getting rid of. It is 14 pieces, so not quite half, but I'm really happy with the amount of stuff that I am parting ways with. The fact that I'm getting rid of 3 palettes is huge. They're just ones that I don't see myself ever using much, and then I am excited to get rid of some like formulas that didn't work, or colors that I know didn't quite work for me, and just in general things that are just making it cluttery in my makeup collection, things that I don't use but I'm still holding on to. So I'm happy to just like weed out some things that I know won't get any love. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for my next one. Again, I will be filming my lip declutter, which I know is really popular. I have accumulated quite a bit in the past few months, so I need to weed through those. So make sure to stay tuned. I'll leave my whole decluttering playlist down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!